Yo, betrayal tastes like burnt coffee and broken promises, let me tell ya. My boy, used to call him brother, jacked my idea, rode it to riches, and left me in the dust. I cooked up a payback plan, something nuclear. Wanted to watch his empire crumble, teach him loyalty's a two-way street, not a doormat. It was gonna start with a simple phone call, just a little nudge, but then the phone rang. Hey, Mikey? It was Mom, voice tight, like she was swallowing bad news. Got a sec? My gut clenched. Mornings in Queens usually started with the roar of the subway, not cryptic calls from Mom. Yeah, what's up? I asked, pulling on a ripped-up Knicks tee. It's about your car, honey. My blood turned to ice water. My Mustang, cherry red, a beast I'd sweated blood and ramen noodles to buy. It wasn't just wheels, it was freedom. A middle finger to the grind. Proof I was making it. My car? What about it? Silence stretched, thick and suffocating. Then, we had to make a decision, sweetie, for Sarah's wedding. Sarah, my sister, princess of the family, always the center of the universe. Her wedding was the event of the century, apparently. Decision? What decision? I braced myself, but nothing could have prepared me for what came next. We sold it, Mikey, your Mustang. We needed the cash for the wedding. The phone slipped in my hand. Sold? My Mustang? For a frickin' wedding? My ears roared, the Queen Street noise fading into a dull hum. You sold my car? I choked out, voice cracking. Honey, Sarah's wedding, it's costing more than we planned. And, well, your car, it was the easiest way. Easiest for who? Not for me, staring at the chipped paint on my bedroom wall, the city a blurry backdrop to my exploding rage. Easiest? Mom, that car? I busted my ass for that car. Years. You know how much that meant to me? Each word was a shard of glass in my throat. Mikey, don't be like that. It's for Sarah. Her big day. Family. Family. Yeah. Family who just casually auctioned off my dreams to fund a party. Family? I repeated, the word turning bitter in my mouth. You didn't even ask me. You just sold it? We thought you'd understand. For Sarah. Understand? They thought I'd understand them selling my pride, my escape, my symbol of independence for a wedding that was already drowning in floral arrangements and caviar dreams? I hung up, didn't say goodbye, didn't scream, just slammed the phone down. The silence in my tiny apartment was deafening, broken only by the frantic thumping of my heart. This wasn't just about a car. This was about them, about always being second, about my dreams being disposable, collateral damage in Sarah's fairy tale. Rage, cold and sharp, coiled in my gut. They thought this was just a transaction. They thought I'd just shrug and say, oh, okay, no Mustang, no problem, enjoy the open bar. They had no clue. They had just lit the fuse. Hours blurred into a haze of fury and pacing. My Mustang, gone. Sold. Like it was some old appliance, not a part of me. Years of hustling, double shifts at the pizza joint, skipping nights out, all for that car, and they just traded it in for a wedding cake and some fancy linens. I called Danny, my best friend since kindergarten, the only guy who could talk me off a ledge, or at least hand me the matches if I decided to burn the whole damn thing down. Dude, I growled into the phone. You are not gonna believe this. I spilled it all out, the call, the Mustang, the wedding, the casual betrayal. Danny was silent for a long beat. They sold your car? Mikey, that's low, even for them. Low? Danny, it's nuclear. That car was everything, and they just, poof, gone for Sarah's frickin' wedding. I was practically spitting venom. I hear you, man. That's messed up. Seriously messed up. So, what are you gonna do? Do? The question hung in the air. What was I gonna do? Let it slide? Pretend it didn't gut me? Hell no. I'm gonna make them understand, I said, voice low and dangerous. I'm gonna make them feel it. They think it's just a car. I'm gonna show them it's not. Mikey, easy, man. Don't do anything you'll regret. Danny's voice was cautious, trying to pull me back from the brink. Regret? Regret was letting them walk all over me for years. Regret was swallowing my anger, playing the good son, the afterthought. Regret is letting them get away with this, Danny. Regret is letting them think they can just bulldoze me whenever they feel like it. Okay, I get it. You're pissed. Rightfully so. But think this through, all right? Don't go off half-cocked. Thinking got me a sold car and a punch in the gut. No more thinking. Time for action. A plan started to simmer in my mind. Something cold, calculated, and oh so satisfying. They wanted a wedding. They were going to get a show. The next morning, the empty space in front of my building screamed at me. No red Mustang, just gray concrete and the lingering scent of exhaust fumes from yesterday's traffic. It felt like a missing limb, a hole punched in my chest. But the rage was hardening into something else, something sharper, more focused. Revenge? No, not just revenge, justice. Maybe a little revenge too. I needed to hit them where it hurt, not just financially, but emotionally. Show them the real cost of their casual cruelty. Confrontation? Nah, too predictable. Screaming match? Been there, done that, got the therapy bills. This needed to be elegant. Painful, but elegant. Then it hit me. If they thought selling my car was no big deal, I'd show them what a big deal it really was. I grabbed my phone, thumbed Danny's number. Dude, I texted, I got an idea. His reply came instantly. Uh-oh, should I be worried? I smirked. A cold, humorless smirk. Maybe a little. I needed a plan, something that wouldn't just make them apologize, but make them understand, make them feel the weight of their actions. First step, radio silence. I'd been their go-to guy, the fix-it man, the errand boy, always there, always reliable. Time for Mikey to go off the grid. No more jumping when they snap their fingers. No more automatic yes to every request. Time for them to learn what it felt like to actually need me and not have me. I texted Mom. Busy this weekend, wedding stuff, can't help. Talk later. Sent. No explanation, no excuses, just a wall of ice. Silence back. Good. Next target, Sarah. Princess Bridezilla herself. She'd probably been in on this whole car selling charade. Time for a little princess payback. She called, bubbly voice, wedding emergencies, last-minute crises, ignored, texted, frantic, needed my help with something stupid, probably color coordinating napkins. No reply. Then came the big one. You coming to the wedding, Mikey? It wouldn't be the same without you. Drama queen alert. My thumbs hovered over the keyboard, a dozen sarcastic replies forming in my mind. But then, I typed something else, something simple, cryptic. Maybe, got other plans. Sent. Let her stew. Let them all stew. The week crawled by, a delicious slow burn of ignoring calls, dodging texts, and basking in the glorious freedom of not being at their beck and call. I started doing things for me again, things I'd forgotten I enjoyed. Long runs along the East River, catching a show at CBGB's, still kicking in my head anyway, actually hanging out with Danny and his crew. My happiness was a defiant act, a middle finger to their drama. But the real punchline, the grand finale, was brewing. I needed to send a message they couldn't ignore, something that would resonate, something that would sting. I crafted a text, each word carefully chosen, a verbal Molotov cocktail aimed straight at their carefully constructed world. Deep breath, type, send. Hope you both realize what you've done. Selling my car for a wedding that's not even about me, acting like it's no big deal? Big deal to me. Years saving for that car. Worked my ass off. Something of my own, you threw it away, without asking. Guess that's what you do when you only think about yourselves. Done with this. Don't expect me to play happy family. Not happening. Talk when I'm ready. Send. The phone vibrated in my hand, a tiny tremor of rebellion. Stomach twisted, knots tightening, but it was right. Needed. Not to make them feel guilty, but to reclaim my own ground. They crossed the line. Time for them to face the consequences. Phone rang. Mom. Instantly. Voicemail. No way I was ready for that circus. Excuses, tears, guilt trips. Nope, not today, not ever again. Buzz. Text. Sarah. Clicked it. Why are you being like this? Wedding's important. Mom and Dad had to. Didn't ask for this drama. Stop being such a drama queen. Drama queen? Seriously? Her? I started typing, fingers flying across the screen, a furious reply taking shape, but then stopped, deleted it all. Nah, no reaction. Silence was louder, let her wallow in her princess pity party, locked the phone, tossed it onto the bed. No more playing her game. The more I stewed, the clearer it became. This wasn't just about the Mustang. It was about a lifetime of being overlooked, undervalued, years of bending over backwards for them, sacrificing my own stuff, my own time, my own dreams, and for what? To be rewarded with a sold car and a lecture about family obligations. They'd taken me for granted for too long. Days bled into weeks. Something shifted, a lightness I hadn't felt in ages. Relief. The weight of their expectations, their demands, their casual disregard for my feelings started to lift. I wasn't their puppet anymore. I had a voice, and I was finally using it. Then, out of the blue, they called. Not a text, not a voicemail, but a real live phone call. Mom's voice, surprisingly subdued. They wanted to meet. Face to face, talk, through. Confusion warred with suspicion. Meet? After the radio silence, after my text grenade, were they finally gonna apologize? Or was this some new manipulation tactic? Part of me, a tiny, foolish part, hoped for an apology, a real one, not some hollow, sorry you're upset garbage. But experience screamed caution. I agreed. Coffee shop in Midtown, neutral territory, no expectations. Keep it cool, keep it calm, listen, but don't believe a word they say. Prepare for the worst. Coffee shop buzz, Midtown rush hour chaos swirling around us. Mom and Dad already there, huddled in a booth, faces etched with worry. Mom, the practiced, concerned look, the one she used when she was about to lay down a guilt trip. Dad, just uncomfortable, like a kid caught with his hand in the cookie jar, but refusing to admit it. Hey, I said, sliding into the booth, forcing a casualness I didn't feel. Deep breath. Here we go. Mom launched in, no preamble, straight for the jugular. Mikey, honey, we've been talking. We want to make things right. Right? After selling my car? Right? I echoed, raising an eyebrow. We know we hurt you, selling the Mustang. We're sorry. We just... wedding stuff, you know. Stress. We thought you'd understand. There it was. The understand card. Always the understand card. Understand? I repeated, voice rising despite my best intentions. You sold something that was mine. Mine. Without even asking. How was I supposed to understand that? Dad jumped in, voice gruff, defensive. It wasn't like that, son. Money from the car, wedding expenses. Sarah was stressed. Excuses, Dad, just excuses. I cut him off, anger flaring. Don't care about the wedding. Don't care about Sarah's stress. Care about the fact that you didn't even consider me. Made a decision that screwed me over, and now you want me to just... what? Pat you on the back and say, no problem, go sell my kidney next time? Guilt flickered across their faces, but it was fleeting, quickly replaced by defensiveness. We messed up, okay? We said we're sorry, we'll make it up to you. Help you get another car or... Mom trailed off, gesturing vaguely. No, I said, shaking my head, cutting her off again. Don't want your help. Don't want anything from you. You've made it crystal clear where I stand. Bottom of the list. Dad's face flushed red. Voice boomed, coffee shop patrons turning their heads. Mikey, don't be ridiculous. Sarah's wedding was a huge deal. Can't expect us to drop everything for your car. His voice dripped with condescension. You're an adult. Handle it. Handle it? Handle them selling my car like it was a goddamn garage sale item? Handle a lifetime of being second best? Something snapped. The years of swallowed anger, the silent resentment, finally broke free. No, Dad, I said, voice dangerously low, steady. I'm not the one being ridiculous here. I'm not the one who made a selfish decision without thinking about anyone else. You are. Both of you. You need to look in the mirror. Ask yourselves why you think it's okay to treat your own son like this. Silence descended, thick and heavy. Mom and Dad exchanged panicked glances. Then Mom, voice barely a whisper, What do you want from us, Mikey? I leaned back, took a long, slow breath. Don't want anything from you. Just want you to understand I'm done. Done letting you walk all over me. Done being an afterthought. If you want a relationship with me, it's going to be on my terms, not yours. Their faces crumpled. Dad opened his mouth, sputtered, closed it again. He knew. They both knew. I wasn't bluffing. I stood up, heart pounding, adrenaline surging. Done here, I said, and walked away. Didn't look back. Left them sitting there in the Midtown coffee shop, drowning in their own guilt. Felt good. Too good. Weeks after the coffee shop showdown, family dinners were Arctic tundra. Tense silences, forced smiles, everyone tiptoeing around the giant, unspoken Mustang-shaped elephant in the room. Mom avoided eye contact, Dad grunted monosyllables, Sarah pretended nothing was wrong, which was classic Sarah. They all expected me to cave, to forgive, to let it all blow over, back to normal. But normal was broken. Normal was a sold car and a gaping hole in my trust. Every time I walked out of my apartment building and saw that empty parking spot, the betrayal stung fresh. It wasn't just the money, the metal, the horsepower. It was the principle, the disrespect, The casual dismissal of my hard work, my dreams. That Mustang wasn't just a car, it was a symbol, and they'd pawned it off for party favors. Mom's face when I told her I was going to take action, disbelief, then annoyance. Action? Over a car, Mikey? Really? She thought I was bluffing. They all did. But this wasn't just about the car anymore. It was about drawing a line, showing them there were consequences. That family didn't mean doormat. The plan started small, a whisper in my mind, then grew, solidified. Calls were made, favors called in. I knew exactly what to do. Contact in the used car game, a buddy from the neighborhood who ran a small lot in Jersey, owed me a solid. Need a car, huh? He'd said, surprised. Thought you were rolling in that red beast of yours. Beast is gone, Sal. Parents sold it, wedding drama, long story. Voice tight, trying to keep the bitterness out. Need your help. Something reliable, not looking for fancy. Sal, bless his heart, didn't pry. Got you, Mikey. Always do. I'll find you something. Don't you worry. The plan? Simple, elegant, brutal. Replace the car. Not just any car. The same car. Same model, same year, same damn cherry red paint job. A ghost Mustang resurrected, and then park it in their faces, let them see what they'd thrown away, let them choke on their understand. I could already picture it. The shock, the dawning horror, the realization that I wasn't kidding, wasn't backing down. I'd drive it right into their driveway, park it front and center, get out, keys jingling, no words needed. Just presence. A red, roaring, four-wheeled middle finger. But that wasn't enough. Not quite. The Mustang was just the opening act, the real punchline, the twist, the thing that would make them truly understand that was still brewing. The car was secured, deal done, paperwork pending, details ironed out, but something was missing. The sting, the lasting burn. This wasn't just about getting my car back. It was about teaching them a lesson they'd never forget, showing them the price of their actions, price they'd have to pay, and pay dearly. So I waited. Held off on the Mustang reveal, let them simmer in their awkward silence, their forced family dinners, their unspoken guilt. Let them stew, build the suspense, make the payoff bigger. Then, the day came. Mustang 2.0, gleaming cherry red, parked a block away, engine purring, waiting for its grand entrance. Took a deep breath, heart pounding, adrenaline spiking. Drove to their place, Queen Streets blurring past. Pulled into their driveway. Mom on the porch, watering some pathetic-looking geraniums. Didn't look up at first. Then she did. Froze. Watering can clattered to the porch, water splashing unnoticed. Eyes locked on the car. Expression? Priceless. Disbelief, confusion, dawning horror. Slowly parked, angled the Mustang just right. Spotlight on the gleaming red paint. Let the silence stretch, the tension build. Then opened the door, stepped out. Keys jingling. That's your car? She stammered, voice shaky, disbelief dripping from every word. Smiled. Not a nice smile. A cold, sharp, victorious smile. Yeah, Mom, it's my car. She stood up, walked slowly towards the Mustang, circling it like it was a ghost, touching the hood, the fender, as if to make sure it was real. But how? I thought... She trailed off, voice lost. Thought you sold it, right? I finished for her, voice dripping with sarcasm. Remember? You and Dad? Good idea. Selling my car for Sarah's wedding, remember? Dad came out of the house, drawn by the commotion, by Mom's stunned silence. He saw the car, saw Mom's face, saw me leaning against the hood, grinning like a goddamn Cheshire cat. His face morphed. Confusion, then recognition, then something else. Fear? Maybe. What is this? He asked, voice flat, devoid of emotion. This, Dad, I said, pushing off the hood, walking towards them, keys swinging, is my new car. Bought it myself, with my own money. Figured I'd replace the one you misplaced. They stood there, frozen, speechless. Mom's mouth worked, but no sound came out. Dad just stared, eyes wide, face pale, enjoyed every second. Didn't need to say anything else. The Mustang spoke volumes. Then, just for kicks, just to twist the knife a little deeper, I added the punchline. You know, I said, casual, almost conversational. Could have used that money for something else. Something important, not just a wedding. But hey, water under the bridge, right? At least now, I don't have to rely on you for rides anymore. Dad's jaw clenched, face turning purple. Opened his mouth, sputtered, closed it again. Mom just stared, eyes shimmering, guilt and shame washing over her. Felt good. Damn good. Too good. But I wasn't done. Not even close. This wasn't just about the car, this was about sending a message. A message they'd hear loud and clear. As I turned to walk towards the house, leaving them gaping at the resurrected Mustang, I overheard Mom whisper to Dad, voice laced with panic. We didn't think he'd react like this. And in that moment, I knew. They hadn't just underestimated the car. They'd underestimated me. The aftermath was weird. Parents tiptoed around me like I was a landmine. Every interaction was strained, forced, laced with unspoken tension. They didn't know what to do, how to react, and honestly, I didn't blame them. They'd messed up royally and they knew it. But what they didn't grasp was the depth of my resolve. This wasn't just about a car. It was about boundaries, about respect, about finally taking control. No more caving, no more sliding. This was my line in the sand. Phone started buzzing more. Texts from Sarah, less smug now, more anxious. Mom called, just checking in, voice too sweet, too innocent. Testing the waters, trying to lure me back into the good son role, not buying it, not for a second. I knew what they really wanted, for me to forgive, forget, and let them off the hook. Nope. Instead, I plotted. Something bigger, something bolder, something that would truly hammer home the consequences of their actions. Not just regret, but understanding. Deep, bone-chilling understanding. I didn't need their approval anymore. I wasn't their backup plan. I was done playing their game. Didn't tell anyone, not even Danny. They'd call me petty, vindictive, maybe even crazy. But they didn't get it. None of them understood. This was bigger than a car. It was about years of favoritism, years of Sarah getting everything, while I scraped and clawed for scraps. The wedding, the car, it was just the breaking point. The last straw on a camel's back that had been bending for far too long. Went to work, zombie mode. Conversations blurred into white noise, mind racing, gears turning, plan taking shape. How far was I willing to go? Further than they could imagine. Further than even I thought possible. Then, the realization hit. What if I didn't just make them regret their decision? What if I showed them something more? Showed them how much I'd changed, how much I'd grown? What if I took back control, not just of my car, but of everything? A new plan sparked. Brighter, bolder, more audacious than anything before. I liked it. A lot. That evening, plan in motion. Called in more favors, pulled more strings, angles worked, pieces falling into place. Wasn't just gonna let this slide. They thought they could take something from me, consequence-free. Wrong. Dead wrong. They were about to learn that messing with Mikey came with a price. Deep in the weeds now, phone rang. Mom. Hesitated, stared at the screen. Apology time, damage control, answered. Hey. Voice neutral, guarded. Mikey, honey, everything okay? Too calm, too casual, playing it cool, but I could hear the tremor underneath. Fine, I said, clipped, no emotion. Busy. You're not still upset with us, are you, sweetie? Sweetie. The manipulation card. Voice dipping into that fake worried tone. Silence, let it hang, let her squirm, then, no, I said, flat, emotionless. I'm fine. Knew that wasn't what she wanted, but it was all she was getting. Good. Good to hear. Sarah's been really worried, you know. Shift the blame, classic. But listen, Mikey, we really didn't mean for things to go this way. We made mistakes, yeah, but please don't let this come between us. Family, Mikey, family. Family. That word again. Weaponized. Manipulation at its finest. Didn't fall for it. Not anymore. Not holding a grudge, Mom, I said, voice steady, cold. Just think you need to understand. Actions. Consequences. Silence on the other end. Heavy, thick. Mom processing, calculating, probably trying to figure out what the hell I meant. Then, voice changed. Softer, almost genuine. You're right, Mikey, she said, surprising me. We really messed up. With you. Then, quieter, almost to herself. I'll talk to your father. Thanks, I said, curt. Nothing more. Hung up. Stared at the phone. Weird. Something shifted. Universe tilted on its axis. Parents different. I was different, but not done yet. Weekend rolled around. Weight of my actions hit me. Not just car, wedding, principle, respect, power. Finally standing up for myself. Next day, final calls, Wrapping it up, parents showed up, Sarah in tow, apologetic faces plastered on. Living room, sat down, looked at me like I was about to unleash Armageddon. Close. Done something, I started, voice calm, too calm. Made sure you won't have to worry about me ever again. Leaned forward. Everything taken care of. Don't need your help. Learn to help myself. Sarah blinked, confused. Parents speechless. Sold my car for her wedding, I continued, gesturing at Sarah with a flick of my wrist. Never asked me what I wanted, so made sure it won't happen again. Won't let you pull that move again. Mom's eyes widened. What are you saying, Mikey? Saying you won't need to worry about me, I repeated, voice flat, final, doing just fine, on my own. Silence. Thick, suffocating. Tension crackled in the air, but inside, calm. Peace. Didn't need to explain. Didn't need to justify. They saw it. Finally, nothing left to take. I was done. Walked away. Circle complete. Not just car, wedding, revenge, control, my life, my choices, my future. Sometimes, take something drastic to see your own power. Never about revenge, about reclaiming respect. One choice, one defiant act at a time. What would you have done? Different? Same? Let me know in the comments. Think I went too far? Justified? You decide. Later.